The video of my daughter fighting with the Diva's son at preschool went viral and exploded on social media that very night. Netizens bashed my daughter for being ill-mannered and accused me of taking revenge on the Diva by targeting her son after failing to seduce her. Then, someone dug up a rumor about the Diva confronting me to demand justice, only to be slapped by me. Adding fuel to the fire, the Diva's rumored boyfriend posted an attack against me online, stating, "Not just anyone can lay a hand on someone from the Scarlett family." Apparently, Jazz had been dreaming about his dad last night, but the dad he was calling for was none other than me. And as for the Diva he mentioned, she was on her knees last night begging me to remarry her. It was the middle of the night and I had just gotten my 4-year-old daughter to sleep when my agent barged into my house. Panicked. "Nick, your precious daughter has caused a massive scandal." I opened up Twitter and immediately understood what he meant. A video of my daughter fighting a classmate at preschool had skyrocketed to the top of trending topics. In the video, my daughter was fierce, twisting the boy's arm behind his back, pinning him to the couch and tugging on his ear while scolding him. I keep a low profile in the entertainment industry, focusing on acting and steering clear of cheap publicity stunts. Normally, this kind of thing wouldn't cause much of a stir. But this particular classmate? He wasn't just anybody, he was the son of Scarlett, a 2-time award-winning diva and the eldest daughter of the ultra-elite Scarlett family. The comment section was in chaos. "Whoa, Nick's daughter fought Scarlett's son. This is like a commoner punching a prince." I've heard Nick's a total scumbag, a school bully back in the day. Looks like his daughter's taking after him, starting her reign of terror in preschool. I heard Scarlett's son's biological father is the prince of the Dominic family. That family's influence is terrifying. Nick's really dug his own grave this time. Serves him right, I'm laughing already. Paparazzi swarmed the story, quickly uncovering that Scarlett had once secretly married the Dominic family's prince. Details about the Dominic family are scarce since no one dares to investigate too deeply, but the revelation sent shockwaves through social media. That night the scandal escalated, pulling Scarlett and the Dominic family into the spotlight. Many celebrities jumped in to criticize me after all. Who wouldn't want to cozy up to two of the most powerful families in the country? The loudest voice in the choir of condemnation came from Lucas, a so-called good friend of mine in the entertainment industry. He posted a tweet, "Not just anyone can lay a hand on someone from the Scarlett family." Jazz was crying for his dad in his sleep last night. The Scarlett family won't let this slide. The tweet was accompanied by a selfie of Lucas sitting on a swing in a luxurious estate, his eyes red. Eagle-eyed fans quickly identified the estate as one owned by the Dominic family. "Case closed," one comment read. Lucas is Scarlett's husband, the real father of Jasper, and the Dominic family's prince. That comment shot to the top with over 1 million likes. Lucas himself replied underneath, "Please focus on my work, not my private life. I've never relied on my family, I only want to rely on myself." Though he didn't explicitly confirm anything, his words were practically an admission. Lucas, Dominic family's prince. Scarlett and Lucas, the secret marriage of two elites. Nick, the villainous cannon fodder of a dramatic rags-to-riches saga. The media's narrative shifted entirely. Lucas was celebrated while I was trampled on. At 20, I took control of my family's empire and became well-versed in the art of manipulation and intrigue. Lucas's move to weaponize public opinion against me was clever, I'll admit. But his equation was flawed because the numbers he plugged in were wrong. Why? Because Jasper, the boy calling for dad, was actually my son. And the diva he mentioned, she was kneeling before me last night, pleading for reconciliation. You see, I'm not just Nick. My real name is Dominic. I am the true prince of the Dominic family. For years, the Scarlett and Dominic families have been locked in a fierce rivalry. As heirs to these two empires, Scarlett and I have been sworn enemies since childhood. We'd fight over everything, whether it was who drank more at a bar or who won in court. Every encounter between us was a battleground. One such fight spiraled out of control, ending in a night of passion. One thing led to another, and we secretly married. Scarlett later gave birth to twins, Bella, the elder sister, and Jasper, the younger brother. After our divorce, I took Bella, while Scarlett kept Jasper. As for that preschool fight, here's the real story. My son had been pulling a girl's pigtails, making her cry, and refusing to apologize. My daughter, as his older sister, decided to teach him a lesson. She pinned him down on the couch, scolding him like the bossy big sister she is. Jasper, still defiant, shouted, "Bella, you're bullying me, I'm calling Dad." A paparazzo captured the scene, spinning it into a narrative of my daughter bullying the diva's son. And as the scandal boiled over, another video surfaced. In it, Scarlett, dressed in a sultry red gown, stood under the soft glow of streetlights, speaking to me in front of an upscale apartment complex. I, dressed in a tailored black suit, looked utterly impatient, smirking as she talked. The clip ended with me slapping her across the face. The internet erupted once more. Scarlett must have gone to confront him about her son, only to get slapped. Unbelievable, Scarlett's fans flooded my social media with hate, dragging my name through the mud. But the truth? I didn't slap her. I was swatting away a mosquito near her face. If the paparazzi had stuck around for another 30 minutes, they would have seen Scarlett kneeling before me, pouting and demanding a reconciliation. She even tried to tiptoe and kiss me, this woman. Over the years, I've always let her take charge in the bedroom. Guess I've spoiled her too much. For my reckless behavior, my manager, Sister Sincere, could only shake her head in exasperation. Finally, with a look of utter defeat, she signed me up for a parent-child reality show. "You're already the most hated person online anyway," she sighed. "Infamy is still fame, right? Let's try to make some money out of this. Otherwise, we won't even have enough for a decent retirement." Watching Sincere's self-pitying expression, I winked at her. "Sure, I'll do it on one condition. As long as Lucas brings Jazz along, I'm in." Sincere nearly jumped out of her chair. "Are you out of your mind, Victoria?" I smiled but said nothing. Crazy? Far from it. Over the past few days, I had dug up Lucas's real identity. I had a big game to play, and I intended to drive Lucas insane. The reality show was filmed entirely live. On the first day of shooting, as I stepped out of the car with my daughter in front of the villa, Lucas was already there. Jazz stood beside him, his round, chubby face puffed up with displeasure. Lucas, on the other hand, had the perfect warm smile for the cameras. "Jazz is just shy," he said to the streaming audience, "but he's very well-mannered. A good child always needs a father's guidance." The live chat exploded with adoration. Comments flooded in. "What a great dad. No wonder he's the heir of the Dominic family." Ever since Lucas tacitly acknowledged himself as the Dominic family's prince and Diva Scarlett's husband, he had been hailed as the epitome of the modern gentleman. As I approached, Lucas's expression suddenly turned serious. "Nick, have your daughter apologize to Jazz publicly," he said. "She bullied him." Jazz puffed up his cheeks even more and turned his nose up at me in defiance. I sighed inwardly. Scarlett spoiled her grandson way too much. Jazz was becoming an entitled brat. This was the perfect opportunity to teach him a lesson. "Oh?" I raised an eyebrow and knelt down to talk to my daughter. "Bella, explain yourself. Why did you hit Jazz?" Bella's voice was crystal clear as she recounted how Jazz had pulled a girl's pigtails. Hearing this, Jazz was so furious that he stormed over to Bella and snatched the chocolate mochi she was holding. "Why, you're not allowed to say that." My eyes hardened. I grabbed Jazz by the collar. "Jazz, who gave you the right to snatch your sister's things and yell at her? Give it back and apologize now." Lucas gasped. "Nick, let go of him. Don't you dare touch our Jazz." The live chat went wild. Oh my God, Nick actually hit a child. First Diva Scarlett, now her son. Nick's lost it. Who does he think he is, making Jazz apologize to his daughter? "Prince Dominic, please crush this awful man." Lucas rushed forward to shield Jazz, but the boy shook him off fiercely. "Get away from me." "Who do you think you are?" Lucas froze. I glared at Jazz. "Who taught you to speak to people like that? Where are your manners?" Tears welled up in Jazz's eyes. He glared at me before suddenly turning and running off, shouting dramatically, "You heartless man, I'll never forgive you." I pressed my palm to my forehead. How many soap operas had this little brat been watching? Lucas's voice turned icy. Nick, you've gone too far. First you hit Scarlett, and now Jazz. Do you think the Dominic and Scarlett families will just sit by and let this slide? I smiled faintly. Oh, I hit Scarlett? Sure, let her come find me. I've got nothing to hide. As for the Dominic family, you're supposed to be their prince, right? Funny, though. I met the real heir to the Dominic family not long ago, and he doesn't look anything like you. A fake will always be a fake. My words wiped the smile off Lucas's face for a split second, but he quickly recovered his polished expression. Nick, he said smoothly, I don't know who you think you met, but all Dominic family members are very busy. There's no way they'd have time to meet someone like you. His tone was dripping with aristocratic arrogance, so convincing that anyone who didn't know better would have believed him. The live chat ate it up. That's not discrimination, it's just facts. Know your place. Lucas is so genuine. Top-tier families are like this, of course. They wouldn't mingle with commoners. Lucas is such a perfect Prince Dominic, I couldn't help but laugh. Oh, really? The mansion you posted on your social media, isn't that the Dominic family's South Bay estate? Lucas nodded with feigned modesty. Yes, it's our family's largest estate in Charleston. At that moment, Bella, who had been playing nearby, perked up at the mention of the estate. South Bay Estate? Daddy, I want to go see Big. I quickly clapped a hand over her mouth before she could finish. She was about to say Big Black, the name of our family dog. Every time we visited the estate, Bella loved riding the dog around the garden. Lucas misinterpreted my actions, his eyes glinting with smug satisfaction. Nick, don't stifle your daughter's curiosity, he said condescendingly. Girls do have a bit of vanity in them. Bella, right? Uncle promises to take you to the estate to have a look. Jazz has been homesick anyway. He sent a text and then turned to the crew. I've arranged everything. The next stop will be the South Bay Estate. Is that okay with you? The production team couldn't agree fast enough. No matter how famous a celebrity was, they were still worlds apart from the Dominic family. Getting access to such a location was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. The other cast members were buzzing with excitement, showering Lucas with praise. Meanwhile, the hashtag How Luxurious is South Bay Estate shot to the top of social media trends within half an hour. Everyone was eager to catch a glimpse of the legendary South Bay Manor. Once again, Lucas was being hyped up by the entire internet. I stood in the corner, silently smiling. Not bad after all. The higher you're lifted, the harder you fall. Sure, Lucas could enter that manor. But once he was inside, it wasn't up to him to call the shots. The trip to South Bay Manor was scheduled for the next day. For now, the guests were resting in the villa. When I walked into the living room, holding my daughter's hand, little Jazz was sitting on the couch with his arms crossed, his chubby little face puffed up in anger. I wasn't about to coddle a brat. I turned around and headed to the kitchen to make some dessert. My daughter, Bella, sweet and considerate as always, came to help me out. As for Jazz, he didn't lift a finger, he just acted like a spoiled little prince. I made mango sago pudding and served it to my daughter. Here you go, sweetheart. Enjoy. Immediately, Jazz's eyes darted over, and he shouted angrily, What about mine? I replied calmly, Only children who help out get dessert as a reward. Jazz puffed his cheeks even more. I never help out at Grandma's house. Unfazed, I said, Oh well, that's Grandma's problem. In my house, only kids who help out get to eat dessert. At his family's home, Jazz was always spoiled and indulged. Now that I didn't pamper him, he threw a tantrum. He kicked over the chair in front of him with his stubby little legs and even reached out to knock over the bowl in front of Bella, spilling the dessert everywhere. Well. Disrespectful, wasteful, and rude to his sister. As a father, I couldn't tolerate this even for a second. I let out a cold chuckle, grabbed Jazz, and pinned him across my lap. With a loud smack, I slapped his chubby little butt. That's for kicking the chair. That's for wasting food. And that's for being rude to your sister. Jazz, you're asking for it. Throw a tantrum again and I'll spank you every time. Jazz froze for a moment before bursting into loud wails. For a few seconds, the livestream comments were blank. Then the screen exploded with reactions. OMG, breaking news, Nick has lost it. I've never seen anyone this bold before. Does Nick even know whose kid Jazz is? Is he out of his mind? Nick must have a death wish. Why would he even come on this show if he wanted to get himself killed? Just as the comments were in a frenzy, Lucas rushed into the room. Nick, stop it right now. How could you hit Jazz? I'm calling the police. He was so worked up that he ran straight to me, reaching out to take Jazz away. But the snot-nosed, teary-eyed Jazz actually recoiled from him in disgust and grabbed onto my shirt instead. He snuggled his chubby little face against my chest, sobbing. You've hurt me so bad my butt split into 3 pieces. Now I'm staying at your place for 3 months until it heals. You have to sleep with me. Send Bella to Grandma's house. I'll swap places with her. Lucas froze. The comments section went silent again, and then, what the heck just happened? Did Jazz get spanked so hard he's hallucinating? Wait, did I hear that right? Bella is Nick's daughter. Bella's last name is Quinn. Lucas, however, didn't seem to register any of this. After a moment of shock, he quickly pulled out his phone and dialed a number. The call rang for a long time before the other end finally picked up. A sultry feminine voice came through. The comments section went wild again. OMG, it's Scarlett's voice. It's her that's Diva Scarlett. Everyone, spam the chat with Scarlett is Queen. I already knew Lucas was a master at creating buzz, but I didn't expect him to pull a stunt like this. Holding his phone, Lucas gave me a smug look before speaking into it. Scarlett, it's me. Are you busy? Her voice was cold and indifferent. Speak. Scarlett, I'm on the show with Jazz, but there's this actor named Nick, and he just spanked Jazz. Jazz is still crying, but Nick is laughing like it's no big deal. Before Lucas could finish, Scarlett cut him off. Nick, put him on the phone. Lucas handed the phone to me, a glint of glee in his eyes. Diva Scarlett is Jazz's mom. Nick, you're done for. I lazily took the phone. What's up? There was the sound of paper rustling on the other end, followed by Scarlett's icy laugh. I've seen the news. Looks like you didn't take my words seriously at all. Her words? Oh, right. She had tried to kiss me one night, but I had pushed her away. She'd then told me I wasn't allowed to have dinner alone with any other woman ever again. Recently, I had dinner with a female business partner, which got caught on camera. The media spun it as a late-night rendezvous with a mysterious woman. This woman was divorced, yet she still thought she could control me. I chuckled. You're right, I didn't take it seriously. So what? There was a pause, then the sound of her gritting her teeth. Moments later, she let out a low, amused laugh. All right, just you wait. Let's see how I deal with you. Per the show's rules, all phone calls had to be on speaker. This entire conversation went viral. Diva Scarlett vows to deal with Nick became a trending topic. Finally, some justice. Looking forward to Diva Scarlett putting Nick in his place. Go all out, Scarlett, end him. Wait, is it just me, or was there a hint of flirtation in their conversation? Flirtation? Are you serious? Scarlett is Lucas's wife. Lucas's face was full of smug satisfaction, though he pretended to be righteous on the surface. Nick, you abused our Jazz. His mother will never let this slide. Oh well, I said nonchalantly as I stood up, holding Bella's hand. I'll be taking my helpful daughter back to our room. Jazz shouted, You're not allowed to leave. When that didn't work, he stomped his foot a couple of times in frustration. I didn't even look back at him. Sure enough, the little rascal still had some sense left. Pouting, he stood there for a few seconds before grabbing some tissues and bending down to clean up the mess he'd made. Lucas was dumbfounded. He rushed over to stop him. Jazz, don't worry. This is work for the staff. You don't have to do this. Jasper saw me holding my daughter as we were heading up the stairs and got visibly anxious. He tried to break free from Lucas but couldn't. Puffing up like an angry little cub, he glared at Lucas and shouted fiercely, Why do you keep following me? You're not even my dad. Lucas's face turned pale, freezing in place, unsure of what to do. This revelation didn't just stun the guests, even the production team was taken aback. Lucas wasn't Jasper's dad. Then, was he not Dominic, the prince of the family? What the heck? Did I mishear that? Someone whispered. Jasper just said Lucas isn't his dad, but wait, didn't Lucas just call Scarlett the diva earlier? His tone clearly sounded like a father talking to the mother of his child. It's common knowledge that kids don't lie when they're upset. Was there some hidden truth behind all this? Speculations began flooding the livestream comments. Is Lucas faking his identity? Lucas could clearly see the live chat, and he must have been panicking inside. I noticed him glance down at his phone, seemingly preparing to take action. Anticipating his move, I quickly sent out a pre-written text. Less than a minute later, Lucas's phone rang. He glanced at the caller ID and deliberately tilted his phone so the camera could capture it. The call was from Norman, Uncle Norm of the family. Lucas smiled at the camera, answering in an exaggeratedly loud voice. "Dad, why haven't you been picking up?" Something big just happened on the other side. Norman's voice sounded excited. "Lucas, I just got word Dominic is returning to the estate tomorrow. He specifically sent someone to tell me he wants to meet with you." Lucas's eyes lit up immediately. "Really? Big Brother's coming back? That's fantastic with him in charge of the family now. It's such a big deal that he wants to see me. I'll make sure to talk to him about taking the family name." Before Norman could finish his sentence, Lucas interrupted with feigned enthusiasm. "All right, Dad, don't worry, I'll have a great chat with Big Brother. It's been so long since I've seen him, I've missed him so much." This relentless string of Big Brother references forced me to pause and think. Had Lucas and I met before through the family? Clearly not. Uncle Norm wasn't even a core member of the family and held no real power. It was unlikely he'd have met me casually, let alone Lucas. After ending the call, Lucas took a deep breath and addressed the camera. "Recently, there's been a lot of speculation online about me being the prince of the family. I didn't respond because I wanted to shield my brother from public scrutiny, not because I wanted to mislead anyone. I'm a legitimate member of the family, and I hope everyone won't be swayed by misinformation." His statement subtly suggested that someone had hired bots to smear his reputation, and soon enough, the livestream comments shifted to attacking me. Who does Nick think he is, meddling in family affairs? Lucas is such a considerate younger brother. The prince must really adore him. I can't wait to see Nick get what's coming to him tomorrow. Scarlett and the prince should team up to take him down. A few skeptical comments popped up but were drowned out by the overwhelming tide of negativity against me. Something feels off. Didn't Lucas basically admit to being the prince earlier? Now it's like he's trying to backtrack and cover it up. I actually think Jasper likes Nick a lot. He's been clinging to him the whole time, kind of like a strict dad scolding his mischievous kid. But those voices were few and far between. The internet was abuzz with anticipation for the next day's drama, eagerly awaiting the prince's appearance and my supposed downfall. Lucas was so excited he didn't sleep a wink. I could hear him in the room next to mine, trying on clothes all night. At one point, he even drove out to buy lipstick. I overheard him practicing introductions to himself. "Big Brother, hello, I'm Uncle Norm's son, your cousin." No wonder I kept sneezing, someone must have been talking about me non-stop. I rubbed my nose, put on my headphones, and went to sleep. The next morning, the entire production team headed to South Bay Estate. Seeing it in person was nothing short of awe-inspiring. This grand and luxurious estate was legendary, said to have been built by Mr. Quinn as a token of his love for his wife, costing billions. In simpler terms, it was a monument to my dad's over-the-top romantic gestures for my mom. The livestream comments exploded with reactions. Holy crap. Wow, this place is insane. Lucas led the group towards the estate's entrance, where they immediately came upon trucks unloading Louis XIV roses. Stopping a servant, he asked about the flowers and learned they had been shipped in by Scarlett as a gift for someone attending today's event. The comments went wild again. "They must be for Lucas. There's definitely something going on between him and Scarlett. Scarlett's divorced the prince, already confessing her feelings to Lucas wouldn't be weird. Everyone's free to love who they want. Lucas and Jazz are even blood relatives. He'd definitely take good care of the kid." I shipped Scarlett and Lucas as a faint blush crossed Lucas's face as he turned to the camera. "Don't jump to conclusions, everyone. Although Scarlett and I grew up together, she was my sister-in-law after all. Matters of the heart should be left to fate. I'm willing to wait. Lucas's boldness wasn't surprising. Rumors had long suggested that Scarlett and I had no real feelings for each other and only married out of necessity for the child. He must have heard family gossip about our supposed fights and lack of harmony. He tried every trick in the book to win over Scarlett's mother and make a good impression on Jazz, all for one goal: to marry into Scarlett's family. A male guest suddenly spoke up. "Hey, where's Nick? Haven't seen him around at all." The live chat burst into laughter. "Haha, Nick's disappeared. Did he run away in fear? Wasn't he acting all high and mighty yesterday? Now he's a no-show? He thinks he can escape? I'm waiting to see how Nick's going to get it. Lucas, hurry up and take your brother to deal with him." At that moment, a man emerged from the side entrance of the estate. It was Uncle Norm. Lucas walked up to him eagerly. "Dad, you're finally home. I've missed home so much." Norman, however, looked tense. "Prince just got here too. Did you run into him?" Lucas was surprised. "No, I didn't. We've been at the entrance the whole time and didn't see him. How could he have gotten in? He just arrived?" Norman frowned, then said seriously, "Well, Prince doesn't seem to be in the best mood. He's in the side hall now, so why are you still dawdling? Go in and see him now." Lucas immediately agreed, then turned to the director and the guests. "You all head to the living room. Make yourselves comfortable, eat, drink, have fun. I'll be right back." However, as they tried to enter, a servant stopped them. "Miss Lucas, Prince has instructed that you and your guests are not allowed inside. Please wait at the entrance." The production team and guests, who had spent the entire day praising Lucas, were now visibly annoyed at being denied entry. They shot Lucas disapproving looks. Lucas froze for a moment, then quickly reassured them, "It must be a misunderstanding on my brother's part. Being in his position, he's naturally cautious. Let me go talk to him and make sure he welcomes you properly." He then turned to one of the guests. "Could you help me find Nick? Once my brother finds out that Jazz was hit, he'll definitely go after Nick. And Scarlett might want to deal with him too." Norman, standing nearby, froze upon hearing this. "Nick? Why does that name sound so much like Prince's?" Lucas waved dismissively. "Oh, Dad, it's just a coincidence. It's the same pronunciation, that's all. He's just some reckless actor from our production team. I'll go talk to my brother first, don't let him wait too long." Straightening his suit, Lucas hurried into the estate. Norman felt uneasy. He pulled aside one of the directors to ask about what had happened over the past few days and then watched some footage from the production team. His vision darkened. Wasn't that Prince himself? Norman, who never paid attention to entertainment news or gossip, had no idea that his reckless son had caused such a monumental disaster. He tried to chase after Lucas, but the estate gates had already closed. Lucas, feeling both nervous and excited, walked into the estate. Everything he saw was like a dream come true. He was already imagining what life would be like if he managed to win his brother's favor today. And, on top of that, secured a relationship with Scarlett. Wouldn't he then have endless wealth and glory? A servant led Lucas to the side hall. I had my back to the door when he walked in. He nervously introduced himself with a carefully rehearsed speech he must have practiced all night. "Brother, hello. I'm Norman's son, Lucas. I've admired you for a long time and feel so honored to meet you." When he finished, I slowly turned around. Lucas froze when he saw my face. "Why is it you?" he blurted out. He looked around, searching for someone else, but saw no one. Then his expression turned furious. "Nick, how dare you sneak into Southwood Estate? Do you even know what kind of place this is? Do you believe I could make you disappear right here and now?" I knew exactly why Lucas was so angry. With his so-called prestigious Dominic family bloodline, he always prided himself in front of me, reveling in his feelings of superiority. Now, being caught speaking humbly in front of me was something he found humiliating. Thinking there were no cameras here, he dropped his act. What he didn't know was that I had spoken privately with the head director earlier this morning. Cameras had been discreetly installed throughout the estate, and the entire internet was now watching his crass behavior unfold. The live chat exploded. "Is this the Lucas I know? Did someone possess him? Look at Lucas acting all high and mighty. I think I'm starting to understand things. Is Lucas an idiot? Can't he see Nick's true identity? How delusional can one person be? But unfortunately, Lucas couldn't see the live chat. Completely oblivious, he continued pointing at me and barking orders. Get out immediately, servants, grab this insolent man for me. Of course, none of the servants obeyed him. I raised an eyebrow. Are you sure you want me to leave? Just make sure not to chase after me later. Lucas, enraged by my calm demeanor, shouted even louder. Servants, guards, arrest this man. Ignoring him, I sauntered out of the side hall. Lucas, desperate, tried to grab a servant to question them. That's when he saw a woman walk out from another hallway. She was dressed in luxurious fur, her beauty regal and imposing. The servants immediately bowed in respect. Madam, it was Olivia, Prince's mother. Lucas, thinking he had found someone to back him up, rushed over and launched into a long-winded introduction. Olivia frowned, looking at him as though he were insane. Who do you want me to send people to catch? A man named Nick. Madam, do you know him? He even hit Jazz yesterday. Jazz cried so much he just left. He can't have gone far. Please come with me. Lucas, eager to have Olivia deal with me, completely missed the peculiar look in her eyes. He acted like a guide, leading Olivia toward the exit. Finally, they found me in the hallway outside the side hall. But I wasn't alone. Scarlett was holding my hand, wearing the rose-red spaghetti strap gown I loved the most. Victoria's beautiful face was clouded with frustration as she stared at me with a hint of grievance. Aren't the roses outside lovely? Don't you always say women look best with this color? I'll match the flowers for you. How about that? Scarlett, I replied, pulling my hand away. Who told you that giving me flowers means you can just grab my hand? Scarlett refused to let go, her eyes flashing with a mix of indignation and defiance that eventually softened into reluctant compromise. In a low voice, she murmured, Fine, I won't hold your hand. I'll wait for you to hold mine. Have dinner with me tonight, won't you? I had someone bring the freshest steaks. I have plans tonight. Let me guess, with that young girl again? Fine, I'll join you, she said, her tone dripping with sarcasm. Scarlett, are you clinging to me for life now? I asked, exasperated. I was more concerned about my son and daughter than dealing with her antics. Scarlett, the proud head of the prestigious Pierce family and a renowned diva, refused to let go, and even leaned into my arms. The memory of her forcibly kissing me outside my apartment last time made my blood boil. I grabbed her slender waist, my voice cold. Scarlett, if you try to kiss me again, I swear I'll take my kids and leave the country. Dominic, just try to leave, she challenged, wrapping her arms around my neck and hanging onto me. She tilted her face upward, pouting her lips as if to kiss me again. Just then, Lucas walked in, catching sight of us in this compromising position. His expression shifted from anger to amusement. Pointing at me, he called to someone behind him. Olivia, look, this scumbag is seducing Scarlett again. He's definitely trying to lure her into something inappropriate. He must have snuck into the estate. Before he could finish his rant, Scarlett interrupted with a sharp, icy glare. Her commanding demeanor instantly replaced the vulnerable expression she'd shown me moments ago. Lucas, she said coldly. Who are you calling names? Lucas stammered. Scarlett, don't let this man fool you. His daughter bullied Jasper at preschool. His daughter. You mean Bella. Yes, exactly that little girl. You should teach both of them a lesson. Scarlett smiled instead of getting angry. Turning to the butler, she said, Bring Bella and Jazz here. Before long, my daughter Bella came bounding in, her lively energy filling the room. Behind her trailed Jasper, pouting in annoyance. Come on, hurry up, Bella chirped, pulling along her reluctant brother. She occasionally pinched his chubby cheeks, which only made him puff up in irritation. Lucas erupted. Scarlett, look at how his daughter treats Jasper. If this isn't bullying, I don't know what is. How dare she touch Jasper? But before he could continue, Bella yelled, Mommy, and ran straight into Scarlett's arms. Scarlett's eyes glinted with joy as she bent down to scoop Bella up, affectionately calling her, My sweet Bella. Lucas froze in disbelief. Scarlett, when did you make her your goddaughter? The scene was overwhelming, and Lucas clearly couldn't process it all. He remained stuck in his delusion that Scarlett would somehow deal with me on his behalf.
Scarlett, didn't you say on the phone yesterday that you were going to teach Dominic a lesson?
Have you forgotten? Finally, Olivia, who had been silently observing, spoke up. Her naturally melodic voice turned icy. Scarlett, are you planning to punish my son? Scarlett straightened up immediately, still holding Bella, and answered earnestly, No, mother-in-law, you've misunderstood. I have nothing but admiration and reliance on Dominic. Lucas's face twisted in confusion. It took him a few seconds to register what he just heard, and then he slowly turned to Olivia. What did you just say? He's your son. Even then, he couldn't fully believe it. The idea that I was the prince of the Quinn family was too much for him to accept. Or perhaps deep down he'd suspected it all along but clung to a sliver of denial. Humans rarely confront their mistakes openly. It's always easier to retreat from the truth than to face it head-on. Finally, I broke the silence. Mother-in-law, I said with a cold laugh, Scarlett and I have been divorced for ages. How dare she call you mother-in-law? Scarlett's face darkened, but she didn't dare unleash her usual fiery temper in front of Olivia. Instead, she shot me a dagger-filled glance. Meanwhile, Lucas's face went beyond pale. It was as if he'd been struck by lightning. His legs gave out and he collapsed to the floor. He had never imagined that I was the prince of the Quinn family. Even now, Lucas desperately tried to convince himself otherwise. No, it's not possible. There's no way. You go by Nick. That's just my stage name, I said indifferently. But my last name is Quinn. Any problems with that? Bella is my sister, and I'm her older brother. Suddenly, Jasper ran over and clung to my leg, shouting indignantly, We're twins, why are you the older brother? I want to be the older one. His outburst drew laughter from everyone in the room, everyone except Lucas, who was too stunned to speak. Lucas's misery only deepened. He had insisted to the production team that every frame of footage be live-streamed, unedited, to boost his public image. That decision now backfired spectacularly. The estate's events were broadcast in their entirety, and Lucas became the target of widespread online ridicule. The same fans who had once praised him as a member of the Quinn family now turned on him, digging up his past. It didn't take long for the internet to uncover the truth. Lucas was not a legitimate Quinn. He was an illegitimate child, born of an affair, and not even given the Quinn surname. Instead, he carried his mother's name, Lucas. His mother had worked in a nightclub, and Lucas had dropped out of school early, not even finishing middle school. Norman had spent a fortune to build Lucas's image and launch him into the entertainment industry, crafting him into a so-called idol. But now, all those efforts unraveled in the blink of an eye. Norman wanted Lucas to meet me, hoping Lucas could establish a good relationship with me and gain access to the Dominic family circle. Nice try, but don't bother next time. After the incident, Lucas camped outside the South Bay estate gates, crying and begging for my forgiveness. Rain or shine, he wouldn't leave. He tried to win sympathy to stage a comeback, but unfortunately for him, I'm no Saint Mary. Not only did I ignore his pitiful act, but I used his live streaming in the rain stunt as an opportunity to hang up ads for our Dominic family's new real estate project at the estate entrance, scoring some free publicity. Lucas's attempt to turn the tables failed spectacularly. All the brands and production teams came after him for breach of contract compensation. He lost everything and was left with a mountain of debt. Norman scrambled to borrow money to patch up Lucas's mess. Uncle Norm, who's never been particularly bright, actually has more than one illegitimate child outside of Lucas. I suspect his patience with Lucas is running thin, but none of this concerns me. I orchestrated this entire situation for two reasons. First, to make Lucas pay for spreading lies and tarnishing my daughter Bella's reputation, and second, to leverage the massive traffic from the entertainment industry to advertise our family's latest project for free. After all, nothing grabs attention quite like a juicy scandal. A man who's focused on making money is the most attractive. Bella, Jazz, the extroverted sister, and her shy little brother, Scarlett and Prince. The most loyal admirer of all have been dominating the trending topics lately. Prince even went undercover to break into the entertainment industry. For a while, the buzz about us was everywhere. The public opinion shifted yet again, with netizens turning their support toward me. Those who previously defended Lucas now praised me instead. I just laughed it off. I've never cared about any of this. Since my kids were young, I've taught them that only by being independent and strong can they face external criticism and doubt without fear. I continue to be the Dominic family's prince and pursue my acting career. I love acting. I enjoy embodying characters and immersing myself in stories. Every day I spoil my daughter and teach my son. Lately my son seems to be behaving better. I brought him to stay with me for a few months. He's such a little tsundere, just like his infuriating mother. Scarlett, that woman, has become my biggest headache recently. This troublesome woman used to keep a low profile when approaching me, as I never allowed her to reveal my identity. But ever since my true identity was exposed, she's been openly declaring her feelings for me, sending me sports cars, luxury watches, and even herself. She's relentless and impossible to shake off. Behind closed doors, she's shamelessly persistent, either tricking me into visiting the courthouse or luring me to the bedroom. Yet during interviews, she's the picture of poise and elegance, claiming she entered the entertainment world because of me. She confessed that she secretly admired me for years. When we were younger, she used to pick fights with me, not out of animosity, but because she liked me and couldn't express it. Honestly, her behavior isn't much different from our son Jazz pulling a little girl's braids at daycare. The media even labels her as an aloof and devoted beauty. Aloof? I'd say indulgent. The more I think about it, the angrier I get. Last night, she tricked me into bed again. But tonight, I will make sure Scarlett doesn't set foot inside my house. Jazz's blissful childhood. Hi, I'm Jazz, a slim and handsome boy. I have a sister, Bella, who I think should be called my little sister. But no one agrees with me, so I don't insist. I also have a very dashing dad and a very beautiful, loving mom. Why do I say my mom loves me? Well, Grandma told me that Dad and Mom got divorced because they fought all the time. So I figured Mom must not like Dad. But I actually really like Dad and Bella. So I told Mom I wanted all four of us to live together. Mom really took me to find Dad. We happened to catch Dad talking to a young woman. Mom told me to run up to Dad, grab his leg, and interrupt their conversation. I did as she said, and then Mom came over to scold me for being impolite while repeatedly calling Dad hubby. She scared off the young woman, and Dad got mad at Mom, but Mom just stood on her tiptoes and kissed Dad's lips. I asked Mom why she kissed Dad's lips. She said it was so I could have a dad. I know Mom only did this because I said I wanted all four of us to be together. She's been acting for me, sacrificing so much. Mom really loves me so much. After that, Mom and I often worked together. She'd tell me to call Dad, saying I had a headache or stomachache and missed him. It always worked to lure Dad over. Every time Dad came, I wanted to sleep next to him. But Mom always told me boys shouldn't sleep with their dads like poles repel each other, and it'll stunt my growth. She also said Dad snores at night, which would disturb my sleep. So she'd make sure Dad and Mom slept together while I slept alone to get better rest. I was so touched. Mom really loves me so much. Boo-hoo-hoo, I'm just so happy. But my favorite person is still Bella, followed by Dad, with Mom coming in third. I think Mom loves me so much she won't mind being ranked third.